Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another round of sound. This is the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown. It's December football, and it got off to a good start for the Steelers. We have a lot to get into. We're going to talk also about Starling Marte, once out of Pittsburgh. We'll get into that. Brian Dumoulin out 2 months after having surgery. But, of course, the #1 topic tonight on the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown on a Steelers Sunday would be the Steelers. A big game for them, and they beat Cleveland. And they did it 20-13 with an undrafted quarterback. And we have a lot to get into. Here's your panel, left to right on your television screen. Andrew Fillipponi from the PM team. Pony and Muller every day, 2 to 6 on the Fan. Preceding them in the middle, it's the Cook and Joe Show, 10 to 2. Ron Cook, co-host of that program and columnist with the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. And to the right, it's Mr. Jeff Hathhorn, who runs everything beautifully, sports director at 93.7 The Fan, and can be heard doing a lot of Pitt basketball play-by-play, including this Friday when they hook up against Louisville. We'll get right into it, gentlemen. Let's start with what happened today. And Devlin Hodges, who got the start. Mike Tomlin did not hesitate whatsoever. He went with him. Andrew pretty much did a good job. So my question moving forward, unless something changes drastically, is Devlin Hodges your quarterback for the rest of the season?
Well, yeah, because there's only 4 games left, and you're going down the stretch here in a playoff position at 7-5. Look, I think it would take an absolute meltdown from Hodges, and I think he'd even give the guy a mulligan. So, yeah, Bob, I mean, I think when you made that change, you knew that it could probably destroy Mason Rudolph's confidence and psyche. I think it's a permanent move for the rest of the year, going to ride him the last 4 games.
I am real hesitant to make Hodges the #1 quarterback for the rest of the year. I'll go for next week in Arizona, but I certainly got to see a whole lot more. I thought he played okay today. I made a couple bad mistakes, but also made a couple big plays, and again was picked up by James Washington, who I thought was the player of the game. So I'll give him a start in Arizona next week. I'm not going to anoint him starter the rest of the year.
Yeah, but unlike Mason Rudolph, he's giving Washington those chances to make those plays, and Tevin Jones a chance to make a play. I think that's the difference. I think it's as much what Mason didn't do as much as what Duck has done. Not that Hodges has been bad, but Rudolph didn't show enough in those times, so I'm with Andrew.
Well, but Hodges was the better of the 2 quarterbacks in the game today, was he not? I mean,
better numbers all the way around, including rating.
He outplayed the #1 overall pick and Heisman Trophy winner, and I thought that Mayfield had better weapons. So
Mayfield started 10 for 12, and then the Steelers defense clamped down on him. And I thought Hodges, Ron, started very tentatively, and I thought the play calling was very tentatively, and all of a sudden it was that free play that he made along the sidelines to James Washington. I think they pretty much said, let's just let him have more of the playbook, and he rose to that occasion.
I'm going to defend the play caller from here to eternity, trying to get by with what he is getting by. I thought he had 2 great wildcat calls today that produced, 12 or 13 yards. Got a first down. You try winning without your star quarterback, without your best running back, without your top wide receiver, without your center. You find any way to do it. I had no problem with the play calling early, in the middle, or late.
But it seems like that's when it did loosen up, when they had that free play and he got that play out to Washington. Next play is a reverse. Then they run a couple of wildcats. It seems like they built some confidence or something changed off that play. I'm sure field position had something to do with it as well, but he also wasn't afraid to throw up more passes. And maybe that's not the play calling. Maybe it's just Hodges taking those shots.
It was the play of the game, the 3rd and 9 at the 18 to Washington. I mean, they had like -9 yards of passing to that point, and I thought it turned the whole game around. Yeah, it was a good throw, and it was an even better catch.
Well, we have a running back situation, too. James Conner could be back this week. He's been out with that shoulder, although I tend to think the Steelers may want to take their time with him returning. But, Jeff, if he's back and available, tell me, to use Mike Tomlin's terminology, how the division of labor works with those 2, Benny Snell and James Conner.
Well, whether you do it by series, I think you basically put one in and you see if he gets hot. And if he doesn't, you put the other one in. You give them some opportunities and see if he gets hot. But you have options. You have 3 options if James Conner can get healthy, which, given that shoulder and everything he's been through, I wonder at this point. And nothing against James, just he can't stay on the field.
Yeah, full disclosure, I do a show with Connor, so I don't want to make it sound like I've got like a built-in bias that's coloring my entire opinion on this, but I don't think we're going to see James Conner close to 100%, Bob. So if my options are what we see in Benny Snell right now, where James Conner trying to rush back on the field to help at 50, 60%, best case 70%, no, I think Benny Snell right now deserves the lion's share of the carries until he proves otherwise.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Conner cannot stay healthy. It's a shame. His style, is why we love him so much. He puts that shoulder down and likes to barrel over people, but He tried to come back, a couple weeks ago and couldn't finish, and I'm wondering if the same thing will happen again. If he's healthy and can play, I'm all for dividing it up and giving them both carries, but I have my doubts.
And guys, Tomlin said after the game today that all the qualities of a feature back are there with Benny Snell, which he doesn't talk up rookies often. I thought those were some powerful words from him.
Yeah, and he got better as the game went on, critical situations, and he likes to kind of run downhill in those between the tackles, and he did it today in the second half. A lot of talk about Mike Tomlin's coaching job this year. You know, they started 0-3. They got to 1-4, and they had to go to Los Angeles with an undrafted quarterback who had never started before. Ron, is Mike Tomlin your coach of the year? Because there's some pretty good candidates out there like Harbaugh, like Shanahan, like Vrabel, who now has Tennessee 7-5.
I don't know that I can make him coach of the year, but I certainly would put him in the conversation. I mean, it's pretty hard to overlook what Harbaugh has done and Shanahan in San Francisco. But I think he's been excellent. I can't say enough how hard it is to keep a team together when your quarterback goes down in the second game and you have what he has had to play with the rest of the season. And they're 7-5 with all their other injuries. I think he's done a great job. Can't quite anoint him coach of the year, but he's in the conversation.
Well, he took a defense that I thought was getting less out of their talent, and now they're producing at an unbelievable rate. It's an award, Bob, that usually goes to the coach that does the most with the least. And so I would put Mike Tomlin as the runner-up right now. The only guy I like more is John Harbaugh because he's done something that's completely unorthodox. He's taken a quarterback that's more of a run-first guy. They've tailor-made an entire offense around that player, and they've made Lamar Jackson into the MVP. So Baltimore won with Harbaugh and Tomlin, too.
You know, I go Tomlin 1 just because of all the things he's had to overcome. And it reminds me of Chuck Nolan '89. You know, they got blown out the first couple of games, and they didn't have a ton, but they found ways to win games. And they're finding ways to win games with a guy from the South wearing number 6 as the quarterback.
They certainly are. All right, one other topic before we go to break here, and that would be the T-shirt. A lot of people made social media memes and whatever on the fact that Fred Kitchens got a T-shirt from his daughter, and it said, "Pittsburgh started it." He wore it to a Fred Rogers movie, and he took a lot of heat for it. Kind of a split locker room. So, Andrew, who did it provide motivational incentive for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Well, he made himself into a distraction. And if one of his players, if Baker Mayfield or Odell Beckham Jr. had gone into a public place and done that, the media and the fans would have run wild with it either. So you expect that the head coach is going to hold himself to a higher standard. And Freddie Kitchen turned himself into a punchline, a punching bag, too, as a matter of fact, today. So you knew that when the Browns were going to lose, that the Steelers were going to talk about, again, how that was something that was on their minds, or at least something that their coach and their team wouldn't do.
Yeah, it was really stupid. I mean, other than that, I don't know how much impact it had on the game. It's easy to say after you win that, yeah, it really inspired us. They were playing for their playoff lives today. That should be all the inspiration you need, but it was really stupid on his behalf.
Freddie Kitchens is a boob. Let's be real. I mean, the guy, he's a bad coach. He was the wrong guy for the job, and now he's trying to look for other ways to get people to look off what this team has done. Yeah, they won a couple of games in a row, but you're a grown man.
Maybe he was trying to endear himself to his fans.
You're a grown man.
Yeah.
You know, just grow up and face the fact you shouldn't be wearing stuff like you're a grown man leading young men.
Yeah, well, so far he's not leading them in any direction other than missed playoffs again. They're 5-7, and you would think at this point their chances are not very good trying to get that second wild card, although schedule gets easier. We have more coming up about the Steelers, and we're going to look ahead into the crystal ball a little bit, talking about the 4 games left and how does this panel see it all playing out. But first, if you're looking for a pick that cannot miss, I'm telling you to pick up a new car right now at #1 Cochran's Black Cyber Sales event. It's their best Black Friday and Cyber Monday offers all together in one huge sales event every day through December the 2nd. Plus, you get a $500 Visa gift card with any new car purchase or lease. The Black Cyber Sales event now at all #1 Cochran stores, or buy online with Expressway at Cochran.com. We'll be right back. The #1 Cochran Sports Showdown is brought to you by #1 Cochran, Go One Better, and by Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Have a greater hand in your health.